The eye's gone completely dark. I can't reach anyone on the station.
Noel, Starborn, came out of nowhere.
Vladimir, get out of there!
He already left. Said he was going to the lodge. Sarah, she's still breathing, but oh God, all that blood.
Hello, Constellation. Are you there?
Who are you? What did you do to our friends?
They call me the Hunter. And now that I'm here, your part in glimpsing the Unity is over. I'm already on my way. Say goodbye to your friends. It won't be long.
Forget about us. That Starborn bastard is after the artifacts. You can't let him take them. Pack up the collection, move it somewhere they can't find it.
He's right. We need to bunker down here and get those artifacts ready to move. Might need every gun to hold that Starborn off.
What about everyone on the Eye? We can't leave them to die up there.
Can't blame you, but sure could use your help when that Starborn comes knocking.
I don't know how long it's gonna take to pack up the artifacts. I'll get started. Hopefully this will only take a few minutes, if my hands can stop shaking!
Everyone take cover, now.
Where? Do you really expect them to barge through the front door?
Well, I'm not You leaving? Gonna barricade the door once you're out. Won't be able to let you back in. Don't know how many of us it's gonna take to keep whoever this Hunter is at bay. Otherwise, I'd be at that door with you. You too.
last thing I want is to charge you for a DP in a...
Welcome my channel.
Welcome to my channel.
He came out of nowhere. We were working on the repairs when the ship docked. We ran to defend the station, but after the doors opened, there wasn't anyone there. Then, all of a sudden, Vladimir screamed in pain, and I saw him flying through the air. That's when I saw the Starborn. It went very quickly after that. I only saw the one. Thank you. I don't think I can move right away. But I'll make it. Go on.
Oh, thank heavens. You're all right. We didn't see the Starborn ship dock until it was too late. By the time we managed to take defensive positions, the doors were already opening. We didn't see him at first. Vladimir went sailing straight into the control room. Then the Starborn was just... there. The rest is just... combat blur. Adrenaline. Pain. Oh, not that I've seen, but I've been drifting in and out. No time to waste. Let's get going.
You're alive. Krix's ghost can keep waiting. No tears for the old. Got the others to worry about.
Okay, I admit, my famous personality wasn't so much help with this one. I don't think I'm going anywhere for a bit. Give the meds some time to kick in. You go ahead.
I appear to only be seriously damaged instead of critically damaged. Fortunate. The hunter was able to utilize some form of cloaking. He took the members of Constellation by surprise. Noel was able to escape with the artifacts, while the rest of us engaged in hostile maneuvers. The rest was short and violent. That you are likewise relatively undamaged is also preferable to the alternative.
Took you long enough. I didn't see much. I didn't see anything, really. That hunter attacked me, I'm sure of that. I heard the others fighting him. Noelle screaming and running off with the artifacts. Noelle, she might still be in danger. There's a secret door in the basement, leads right to the well district. That would have been the safest route for her to run.
It went quickly after you left. Walter was upstairs when he screamed. I went to check on them, and then the hunter appeared out of nowhere. We fought him off as best we could, while Noelle packed up the artifacts and escaped. We held him off while Noelle escaped through the basement. There's a door that leads to the well district.
Dad, come on. You have to keep your eyes open.
Sam. Sam, can you hear me? It's Sarah. He can't. This is it. Sam. Cora will be fine, okay, Sam? We won't let anything happen to her.
Dad! Dad, get up! Get up! Please? Go away! I told him you were coming. He just had to hold on a little longer. I hate you! Leave me alone!
Stay back! I'll... Oh, thank God. Thank God, thank God, thank God. I don't know. I just ran and hid. I keep thinking he's just around the corner. I still have the artifacts, but where do we take them?
Ah, there you are. I wasn't expecting you to run to the eye.
You! You're not getting the artifacts!
Yes. Let's see if they can slip from my grasp this time, shall we?
안와 이놈들 빡신의 길.
Stay back! I'll... Oh, thank God. Thank God, thank God, thank God. I don't know. I just ran and hid. I keep thinking he's just around the corner. I still have the artifacts, but where do we take them?
Ah, there you are. I wasn't expecting you to run to the eye.
You! You're not getting the artifacts!
Yes. Let's see if they can slip from my grasp this time, shall we?
화력으로 안 되는구먼. 그냥 도망가야겠군.
Stay back! I'll... Oh, thank God. Thank God, thank God, thank God. I don't know. I just ran and hid. I keep thinking he's just around the corner. I still have the artifacts, but where do we take them?
Ah, there you are. I wasn't expecting you to run to the eye.
You! You're not getting the artifacts!
Yes. Let's see if they can slip from my grasp this time, shall we?
Do you like Starfield?
You're back. Thank the blackest sea that you and Noel are safe. And the artifacts? The lodge. Had you in the deadlock and flinched? Or just tagging you for later, like his namesake, marking a curious prize for later tracking? We need to talk locks and bolts. Lodge and the Eye are not secure. Years in the making to modify the station. Take time to fix the damage, but more is the worse if we abandon her and try to start over. Just means he's playing the waiting man's game. He'll be back once we've done all the work of collecting the other pieces.
The hunter, he probably found us because we're somewhere obvious. High-populated area, just like how the Starborn found you orbiting Neon the first time. But the fact that they're competing with us to find the artifacts means they can't get them without searching.
So we put the artifacts somewhere in the fringe, or on something that can slip from their grasp if they do another strike from the curtain. Fine idea. Starborn show up, you can burn helium in one spin of the grav drive to anywhere.
Here, keep the artifacts safe. I guess we'll meet back at the lodge after.
금 전초기지 만들긴 해야 하는데 어디서 만들지?
On the sun. You can save the cost for heaters.
Captain. We pose no threat here. Quite the opposite. Our ship's full of the faithful, Sanctum Universum. Happy to talk if you're inclined. We're due for our next jump. Safe travels, stranger.
Scan any promising leads? location.
안와 페니 썬네길 세이브하고 해볼 걸 길.
You are entering United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Be advised, you have been identified as a known criminal. Respond immediately or we will be forced to open fire. I've got special orders. You're coming with me. Stand down and prepare for immediate transport to our vessel. I've been authorized to inform you that you're being transferred to the UC Vigilance. You'll find out more when you get there. Other than that, I'm not at liberty to divulge any additional information. We have orders to transport you and your vessel to your final destination, the UC Vigilance. Any deviation from those orders on your part will be considered an act of hostility and will be met with aggressive force. Smart decision. Stand by to be boarded and transferred.
I'm telling you, the commander's got plans for this loser. Why else would he be going through all this trouble? I still don't understand why he trusts a criminal. Seems like too much of a risk. Stop worrying and keep an eye on our guest. I'll be right back. You just sit tight. The commander wants to have a little chat. The prisoner's ready, sir. I hope you're comfortable. We have a lot to discuss. I'm your ticket out of the mess you've gotten yourself into. That's all you need to know for now. Highly perceptive. Let me add that to your list of skills. Speaking of which, let's see what we're working with here. Seems you fancied yourself a bit of an explorer in the past. That lines up with where you are now. I also see that you've mined on Vectera, and now you're with Constellation. You've certainly been quite busy. Oh, and look at that. Right at the bottom of this list is the criminal incident that landed you in my crosshairs. I will, when I'm ready. Now that we have that out of the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Commander Kibwe Ikande, and I'm in charge of this operation for UC SysDev. Are you familiar with what we do? United Colonies System Defense. Does that help you figure out exactly what it is we do? UC SysDev is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle the big picture stuff, we deal with a very particular problem. The Crimson Fleet. That convict is where you enter the picture. Are we really playing this game? The pirates, like the ones you tangled with on Vectera? Please stop pretending you have no idea what I'm talking about. On the books,
They maintain combat-ready spaceborne forces to deter aggression and ensure the safety of the United Colonies. What all that fancy claptrap means is that they're the ones who fight in the wars to keep our territories secure. No. No, you don't. Not yet, anyway. We've been prodding at the Crimson Fleet for years, trying to take them down one ship at a time. But we barely scratched the surface. If we can get someone on the inside, we'll have a shot at finding a loose thread we can pull to bring it all down. If the military rolls in and attacks the Crimson Fleet, we'd have a full-scale war on our hands. That means losses. Heavy losses. That the United Colonies can't afford. It doesn't matter how I feel. I'm simply doing what's best for the security of the United Colonies. Look, I'm going to make this simple. Agree to work for UCC staff, and together we take down the Crimson Fleet. Refuse, and I tell these guys to throw you into the nearest lockup. Might even tack on an extra few hundred credits to your fine. Well, first of all, we'll forget about the infraction that landed you on the Vigilance. Wipe the slate clean. Better still, depending on how well you do your job, we'll even kick in a few extra credits to offset any cost that the operation will incur. Or, you can throw all that away and end up back in jail with a hefty fine attached. Of course you have a choice. It's just stacked in my favor. So, what do you say? You going to work with me, or should I find someone else? Smart choice. I'm going to have one of my men escort you to the operations center. I strongly suggest that you don't give him any trouble. And don't bother trying to leave the ship. I think you'll find all access to the docking area is fully restricted.
All right, let's go. So, you took the op instead of serving the time. Gonna be the commander's new mole, huh? Infiltrating a bunch of pirates. You've got a lot of guts.
Yeah.
Still, it makes you wonder, especially with the stories that go around. Like the one about how the fleet deals with informants by lashing them to the hull of a ship, and then slowly letting the air out of their suit. Could you imagine a worse way to go? I know I couldn't. But I wouldn't worry about it. Since the commander handpicked you, I'm guessing you can hold your breath for a really long time, right?
Howdy.
All right. This is as far as I go. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Ikande should be waiting for you.
Yes?
Hey.
Ah, there you are. Excellent. Now that we've established your level of cooperation with us, I want to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, SysDef's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. We are currently in the Sol system, in deep orbit around Phobos. As to why, I'll explain momentarily. Which is precisely why we're taking a more clandestine approach. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Let's get one thing straight right now. While you're working for me, I'm going to treat you like one of my own. Whatever crimes you committed in the past no longer matter. You're now an agent of SysDef, meaning that it's my job to keep you alive. I do. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. Aurora is a Class A controlled substance that's illegal to transport outside of Neon, a city on Volai. Get caught with this stuff aboard a ship, and you're looking at some serious fines. That's classified. Suffice to say that the smuggler who was previously hauling it will be spending the rest of their life in prison. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow. Eager to get going? Good. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. Then you better learn to swim, because you're diving right into the deep end on this one. I've studied your profile. I know you can do this. I'm not about to throw away someone's life on a whim or a prayer. Just use your best judgment, trust your instincts, and watch your back. I wouldn't expect any less. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? To put it simply, you can't go into every situation with guns blazing. Think before you act. Calculate what you're doing and pull the trigger only when it's absolutely necessary. At the end of the day, your primary goal is taking down the Crimson Fleet. That's the greater good. That's what I wanted to hear. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place. Then you do what you have to do. The Crimson Fleet has the potential to kill hundreds, even thousands of people per year. If it takes a few deaths to maintain your cover, then so be it. But only as an absolutely final resort. This is not a licensed killing spree. Understood? That's why I expect you to constantly seek alternative means to overcome your obstacles, rather than blowing holes in them. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this. So let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own. Good luck.
Okay. Hello.
Pardon.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? Well, since it isn't every day we stumble across a criminal's fully written confession, we need to build a case against our suspects. The more evidence we acquire, the stronger our case becomes. And knowing the Crimson Fleet, they'll leave plenty of evidence for you to find. I'd scour every inch of wherever the Crimson Fleet sends you. Otherwise, you're wasting our time and risking your neck for nothing. Criminals are sloppy. Look hard enough and I'm certain you'll stumble across their mess. You better make it, because Commander Akande cashed in all his chips to get this operation off the ground. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. You have to understand that my agitation with the Crimson Fleet comes from personal experience. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. What? No. It's personal. It has nothing to do with you. Just stick to the mission and you'll be fine. I was hoping that you'd be inspired into thinking this is more than a punishment. It appears that I was wrong. I suppose we'll simply have to motivate you in a different way. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. It's not generous, it's motivational. Commander Akande's idea. All right. We've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden. And with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed. Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake. We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that you care. It's just that I don't feel like now's an appropriate time to be discussing these things. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? We'll be here if you need us.
If you have any questions, now's the time to ask.
If you're here to buy or sell, you might want to talk to Octai. I'm busy. Octai Bayar. He's the head of our Sidonia branch. If you want to do some trading, he's the one you need to be talking to. I'm busy. And by sensitive, I'm guessing you mean something you don't want UC security sticking their noses into. I can probably help you with that. What have you got for me? I'm not talking price until I know what the hell I'm buying. Aurora, huh? Nice. A little too hot to handle, though. What else you got?
The Trade Authority turning away contraband. Now I've seen everything.
No, they're right. What they didn't tell you is that I have a self-preservation streak a kilometer wide. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, I might, well, bend the rules a little bit. You must be new at this game, love, so I'm gonna let that one slide. In our business, nothing gets done until money is exchanged, even if that means leaving a credit on each and every rung of the ladder as you climb your way up. You know, it's funny. Suddenly, I do remember someone who might be able to unload that stuff for you.
Well, well. It appears she suddenly remembers everything. How nice.
There's a buddy of mine who runs with the Crimson Fleet. Goes by the name Adler Kemp. If he isn't passed out, you can find him killing the rest of his brain cells at the Broken Spear. Oh, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Noel and Vladimir are right. The artifacts need a new home.
We got lots of stuff. Just ask.
Mars isn't for everyone.
Live where you work. Tired of commuting from distant systems to Sidonia every day? Lux Condominiums has premium apartments available to rent.
A friend offered me a nice cushy office job, but I'm making double out here in the Sidonia mines. Joke's on them.
Unless you're here to serve me another drink, you can turn around and walk away. Hey, why don't you say that a little louder? I don't think every single UC guard in Sidonia heard you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we can help you with this. If you've got a whole shipment of this stuff, you're going to need to move it fast. But you're going to have to do something for us first. You're a clever one, aren't you? Let's just say I have a certain influential affiliation. And leave it at that. Basically, you want that Aurora moved, I'm your guy. Right down to business! And no small talk. I like it.
Well, this is utterly ridiculous. Do we really have to jump through these hoops to get what we need from you?
Lady, if you want me to move that shipment for your pal here, you're going to do whatever the hell I want. You got that? Now listen up, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I need you to deal with a miner who's racked up a bunch of debt. He probably spent it all on booze, not that I blame him. Either way, I want that money back. What do I need to do here? Write you an instruction manual? You can do this loud, you can do this quiet. I don't care. I just want my goddamn money, and I want this guy to remember who he screwed over. Perfect. His name's Carl Fielding. I think you'll find him wandering around the Deimos miners' quarters. Don't worry, you can't miss him. Just look for the most miserable looking guy in the entire place.
Put your children on the right path to success and enroll today.
Just passing through? Here to stay.
There are many stories and films.
Something I can help you with?
Hey, slow down. I don't even know what you're talking about. Of course, I owe money. Unless you're independently wealthy. Everyone's in debt nowadays. I owe Deimos. I owe my landlord. I owe Galbank. Heck, I have a tab at Parsec Deep at Spear. It's an endless list. So why don't you just leave me here? Let me get drunk and find someone else to bother. Okay? What? Play what games? You're obviously confusing me with someone else. Look, I'm tired. It's been a long day in the mines. I just want to go home, wash off the dust, and relax. This has been fun, though. Whatever. Hey now. Take it easy there. Let me think about that person you mentioned. Adler, was it? Hmm? Oh, wait. You mean that Adler? Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about someone else. I told him I'd pay up next week when Deimos cuts our next profit share check. I'll even bring it to him personally. Hmm? Sound good? Yeah? What the heck do you want me to do, then? Huh? Look, I haven't got a single credit to spare right now. Okay? You can't squeeze blood from a stone. You know? Right?
Perhaps he's already been through enough.
I'm a miner for Deimos. It's not what I was hoping for out of life. But here I am. Yeah, it's a lousy company. It pays me a salary. But I depend on the profit-sharing bonuses to keep food on the table for my family. What games? Why are you doing this to me? I don't have the money. How dare you try and threaten my family? Too bad. No way! I'm already working my fingers to the bone! I know Adler's paying you to lean on me. So, you're just doing your job. But I swear, I've got nothing left. okay? If I give you the last of my credits, my family starves. I can't afford to do that. I won't do that. Hey, now wait a second. Just because things are tough, and I might be spending my afternoons at the Spear, it doesn't mean I don't care about my family. Adler doesn't get to judge me. No, he's just a low-life pirate who thinks he can push everyone around. Ah, no! Get away from me!
Something I can help you with?
Hey, slow down. I don't even know what you're talking about. Adler, you said? Nope. I think you have me mixed up with someone else. Look, I'm tired. It's been a long day in the mines. I just want to go home, wash off the dust, and relax. This has been fun, though. Whatever. Hey now. Take it easy there. Let me think about that person you mentioned. Adler, was it? Hmm? Oh, wait. You mean that Adler? Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about someone else. I told him I'd pay up next week when Deimos cuts our next profit share check. I'll even bring it to him personally. Hmm? Sound good? Yeah? Well, I mean, he doesn't really have a choice. Look, I haven't got a single credit to spare right now. Okay? You can't squeeze blood from a stone. You know? Right?
Perhaps he's already been through enough.
I'm in a for Deimos. It's not what I was hoping for out of life. But here I am. Yeah, it's a lousy company. It pays me a salary. But I depend on the profit-sharing bonuses to keep food on the table for my family. What games? Why are you doing this to me? I don't have the money. I might be able to take up a collection from some of my bodies. Sure. I guess I could ask for a 7-day shift. I don't know. Please, tell Adler I'm sorry for trying to wiggle out of the debt. I didn't have much of a choice.
We can't take the artifacts back to the lodge. Let's find another place.
City security is here to keep you safe. If you see something suspicious, please don't hesitate to report it to any security officer.
tech to instantly jump across the universe. You'd think someone would have invented a way to keep rocks on roots.
Have something for me? There, would you look at that? I knew that bum was holding out on me. He going to be a problem anymore? Or did he get the message? Well, damn. If you want to make a name for yourself in this racket, you can't pull any punches. Still, you got my credits back, so it's not a complete loss. You know, if you like this kind of work, I can get you more. A lot more. You think you can handle running with my, associates? If you haven't figured that out by now, then maybe you aren't cut out for our line of work. No. There's no maybe. If you want to join up with us, you have to push every damn chip you've got into the pot. I'm talking all in. So can you handle it, or what? That's what I'm talking about. I like your style. All right. I'll call ahead and get a hold of Nevamora. She's second to the big boss himself. Head out to Europa. You'll find her there. I suggest you listen to whatever she has to say. Oh, and I've taken care of that Aurora shipment for you, too. Don't spend all that cash in one place.
Let's find a place to secure the artifacts. Then, back to the launch.
Something right for once. So, big shot. I hear Adler thinks you're good enough to join our crew. You're funny. I hate funny. Remember that. So, before I put you to work, let's get everything out in the open. I don't know if Adler mentioned it, and for his sake, I hope he hasn't. But you aren't about to sign up with any average pirate crew. You're signing up with the Crimson Fleet. That's if you get through this little task I have planned for you. There's a medical supply ship called the Ragana, jumping into Enceladus's orbit. On board that ship, you'll find a traitor named Austin Rake. I want him dead. This job isn't about the loot, but I suppose every dog needs its scraps. Keep whatever worthless junk is on that ship. Just remember, the only thing that matters is that Rake dies. There's a lesson in this. I need you to learn what'll happen if you decide to turn your back on the fleet. Consider it your glimpse into a possible, unfortunate future. So you'd better pay close attention. It's done when Rake stops breathing. Head back here when you're finished. And don't keep me waiting for long.
So that's the notorious Nova Mora. I have to say, if she's the finest that the Crimson Fleet has to offer, joining them might be a terrible mistake.
Rake used to run with the fleet. Hell, I'm the one who vouched for him in the first place. Back then he had a different name and a different identity. He was a damn good earner, too. Brought in a ton of creds. Everything was fine until he wanted out. So he ran. And nobody, I mean, nobody, runs away from the fleet. I've been tracking Rick for months. He's making it tough, not gonna lie. He changes his location and identity so often, it's costing me a small fortune just to keep tabs. But you know what? It's worth every damn cred. He's made me look like a fool in front of Delgado, and I'm gonna have his head on a pike.
Pilot of the Regana. We are a simple transport ship heading to New Homestead. We do not want any trouble. Please identify. We do not... All right. And what are your intentions with these crewmen? Damn it. I do not have choice, do I? Okay. Docking bay is open. Let's talk.
Not sure what to make of you being here. If you wanted to kill us, you could have done that from your ship. If you wanted our cargo, we could have jettisoned it. I guess I should just stop talking and let you say your piece.
That is not something I am going to do, not until you reveal your intentions. As far as you are concerned, I am Austin Rake. You want him? You're going to have to kill me. Now, do you mind telling us what this is all about? I will not murder a man in cold blood. You will have to kill us all first. You are asking me to betray my own crew. Maybe so, but that does not make it easy. I do not know who to believe. But you would not have come all this way if you were lying. All right, I will do it. I've got no love for the fleet. And if Rake was one of them, my loyalties with him end. But, if I do this, you have to promise to spare the rest of the crew, and leave the supplies for New Homestead.
Is that all it takes for you to flip on me, Dimitri? Unbelievable.
It is either you or all of us, Austin. I'm sorry.
Cut the crap and just admit it. You're a coward. You know, I almost bought it. All that crap about helping people and making a difference. But at the end of the day, you're no different from the fleet. When push comes to...
Nice bit of work there.
This is terrible. I don't even know what to say.
Was Austin really a member of the fleet? But he seems so normal.
This is terrible. He is dead.
I don't even know what to say.
I do not know if I did the right thing. Not really. But we got along well enough. Funny thing is, I was praising the stars when he volunteered to help. Never thought in a million years it would turn out like this. He was also one of my crew, so no, I do not know if anything you said is true. You can leave now. I think you will understand when I say, I hope I never see you again.
What an awful situation. I don't know if I even blame Rake after what the captain said.
안 와? 이걸 어떻게 이기라는겨? 딴 거부터 해야지.
Welcome to space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Alright, we're done. You're cleared to land at New Atlantis.
We can't move home and Hearth, but we can at least move the artifacts. No, my plan might be a fool's test, but taking the artifacts back to the lodge won't cut it. Paid for the artifacts with our lives now. Got to find a secure spot for them.
오우 스타필드 물결표 사인.
Noel and Vladimir are right. The artifacts need a new home. It's done. Let's head home.
If you were a victim of the recent attack, please remain calm.
There's been an incident. Please continue going about your business.
I need to be checking everyone's vitals. Now really isn't the time.
I know. Look, we all feel like we've been kicked into the ground a million times over, but I think I have something. I'm serious. If I may, I know our encounter with the Hunter is the last thing anyone wants to talk about right now, but he said something that I can't get out of my mind. Unity. Do you remember that? Because he was stopping us, implying that we were getting closer to it. The thing is, I've heard that word before. It's an important concept in Keeper Aquilas's speeches.
The priest? Is the Sanctum Universum going to bless our little crusade of discovery?
It can't be a coincidence. The Sanctum has always believed that answers are out there in the stars. Look, I know it's the longest of shots and the biggest leap of faith I could ever ask us all to take, but why not talk to him? It's right here in the city, just a block or so from the lodge.
There's no harm in gathering more information. A visit to the Sanctum might actually be quite enlightening.
Thank you. I know it's not much to go on, but something about this feels right. I'll meet you over there.
You forget how much you take a place like the Lodge for granted. Until it's threatened.
Wouldn't mind burning some helium out in the fringe. Being here, you know?
want.
Just tell me how many zeros
Hey, no funny stuff with that boost pack. Got enough flight traffic yet.
Keeper Aquilus, can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's been too long. How are your parents? Your mother still struggling with that azalea garden?
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh. Well, what's on both your minds? Oh. Yeah. How humanity comes together. How we are to love each other, even as our universe becomes even more complex.
That's not exactly what we mean. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps we should talk about this inside.
Have you ever heard one of his sermons? They're really good.
Now that we have a little privacy, why don't you tell me exactly what it is that brought you two here?
Seriously, Keeper, they bathe whoever reaches the center in a light, and then, well, the normal laws of the universe go completely haywire.
So you're saying you found a place of contemplation? And you received a gift? There have always been mysteries that seem to defy our understanding of the universe, beyond rational thought. We enter life as an act of someone else's faith in us. There's no way of knowing who we will become, and yet the risk is made anyway. So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing where it would take you. And it's brought you here. I think I can. If you're willing to find your way in the dark for a bit longer, I can give you a path to discovering its meaning. There's an old story, far older than the Sanctum Universum, of someone who walked the settled systems and saw every corner of it. This pilgrim claimed he found the true meaning of unity. I always thought of it as just a parable for trying to bring humanity together, but maybe it's more. In my story, the pilgrim met the founders of the House of Enlightenment and the enigmatic cult of the Varun. And he gave them each a part of the truth. Then he goes to his final resting place to live out the rest of his days in contemplation of infinitum addendum, his addition or contribution to the infinite. But what if the story isn't a metaphor, but a code? A way of finding the pilgrim again, or at least his grave. I agree. I think you need to talk to them about this Unity Pilgrim. And clearly, not just in a theological sense, as I have. Oh yes, typically. But there is a lone zealot that was captured recently for attacking UC ships. I've visited her a couple of times. Hopefully, she'll be willing to talk to you as well. And if you need directions to the enlightened, they have a branch in the well helping the poorest citizens of New Atlantis find a better life for themselves.
I'll stay here with the Keeper. We need to catch up. And I wouldn't mind asking him a few more questions.
There's something I need to talk to you about. Yeah, what is it?
I picked up something you might be interested in.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep...
Security scanners, chemical sniffers. The United Colonies sure isn't taking any chances.
Enjoy your visit.
Contrary to what you might have heard, UC security personnel are good people. And Sergeant Yumi just happens to be an old friend.
It takes a strong mind and a good eye to tell art.
Things for you.
I think I got them.
As a tracker agent, my duty is to inform and advise.
We run a number of social programs, from financial aid to food banks. If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing everything we can. Oh, we're not. Sorry. Can I help you?
We don't mean to be intrusive. Any information you could provide would be very useful.
Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a Unity pilgrim. But since you both insist, our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilas is describing. Yeah, I mean, he's always going on about trying to bring people of all beliefs together. Really wants there to be some shared story or origin. Look, I like the Keeper, but belief is the problem, okay? We don't need a shared narrative or theology. We need to help each other in practical terms. A man walks into the first house of enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of two what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of do that. It's part of our core principles. There's no God pushing us to do good for some eternal reward. We have to help each other because we choose to. If no one takes responsibility for making the settled systems better, then we're just leaving it to the tyrants to bully the rest of us. Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see anything like it again. Besides what the Keeper would say about it, sounds like a gathering point, or a center. Or, in mathematics, it would mean one, like the one, the first or the beginning. Always happy to help. If you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of aid efforts to coordinate.
I have something I need to discuss with you.
Problem?
Look, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you. The fact that you risked your life to save me, I don't know what to say. then I'll say it again. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you. My only wish is that my rescue hadn't come at the expense of Sam's life. He was one of my closest colleagues. And a cherished friend. Oh, poor Cora. I'm sure the poor thing is devastated. She's lost a wonderful father. I really wish I could believe that. Our charter at Constellation has always been to analyze the unknown, but rarely at the expense of our members' lives. Yet all the while, I've been cavalier about taking risks and pushing the boundaries, not appreciating the true cost of my actions. Had I not pushed so hard to pursue the Starborn, perhaps none of this would have happened at all, and Sam would still be alive. I can't sugarcoat our mission statement. Space travel and planetary exploration is inherently risky. Even Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks, went missing on an expedition. But this particular danger with the Starborn is off the scale. We truly don't know what we're dealing with. Of course I can. Damn it! Why is this happening to us? We're explorers. Our curiosity pushes us to seek answers to life's mysteries. It's one of the core traits of humankind. Yet in return, this is what the universe throws at us. Beings from God knows where who are trying to murder us. Why? What have we done wrong? No. I refuse to allow Sam's death to be attributed to bad luck. It isn't fair. The question is, where do we go from here? Do we stop exploring? Stop pushing the boundaries? Take a more aggressive posture towards the universe? I don't know where to begin. Agreed. I just hope it's enough caution that we don't leave ourselves open to another attack. Well, I suppose that's all I had on my mind for now. Oh, it was a relief to get all of that out in the open. I'm sorry I got so angry. But I assure you, it's nothing personal. You're the only one I feel comfortable talking with about these things. Good. Because I expect this won't be the last time I intend to cry on your shoulder or scream in your face. Well, we have a long road ahead of us. I suppose it's high time we get back to work.
When you have a few moments, there's something I'd like to discuss. Remember our last conversation, when you told me the artifacts made you feel like raw energy was coursing through your veins? Well, it got me thinking. So I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described, doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor. Unfortunately, no. Other than you and Barrett, there were no records of direct encounters with the artifacts. I have to admit, though, I did get more than a bit sidetracked reminiscing about old times. Really? I'm surprised that I haven't. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started flooding back. Aja Mamasa. She was the youngest member of Constellation when it was founded. Only took her 15 years to reach chair. Sorry, I sometimes get so caught up in my own bubble, I forget that I wasn't the first. yes, absolutely. I didn't mean to compare. Those were just... oh, I don't know. Different times. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under her wing as her protege. Hey, so I pinched a few ideas from my old boss. Can you blame me? At any rate, we logged quite a few discoveries together, but it was the actual journey that I cherished the most. Exactly. For me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back and watching space bend while listening to Aja spin vivid stories to fill the time. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone. Yeah, you know, being alone in interstellar space, nothing but light years of black around you. Some people find that terrifying. I find it comfortable. It helps me bond with my shipmates. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that my time with her was a gift. I miss her dearly. No, she retired. Living on Porima 2 now, I think. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay her a visit, and I could make proper introductions. Oh, don't worry. There's no bad blood between us. The worst that might happen is you get stuck listening to two old friends catching up on old times. Well, I don't expect you to be a carbon copy of Aja. Just be yourself. You see, it's clear that we share the same hunger to discover what's out there. And that, well, that's what intrigues me about you. Good. Then we're both on the same page. Anyway, that's all I had to discuss for now, so if you'd point the way, we can continue our journey.
A visitor? I have all the company I need. He knows not the truth. He sends another to ask more incessant questions.
Perhaps you should hear us out before you decide to cast judgment.
The Great Serpent waits in the shadows. He will entwine the universe, and all but the faithful will be made as dust. That is the truth. No more, no less.
Anything you could tell us would be tremendously helpful.
Yes, I have spoken to your keeper about this. I will tell you what I told him, and then you will leave me. Jinan Varun meets the unbeliever. He gives false prophecy to Jinan. But such is Jinan's conviction in the Great Serpent. He does not hesitate. He cuts the unbeliever down. But the unbeliever returns. Jinan realizes the Great Serpent is testing him, and he will not be found wanting. 4 times they fight. Over 120 rotations of the planet they are on. Remember these 4 battles, Jinan, the unbeliever says. Remember these 120 rotations. But Jinan knows this is blasphemy, and delivers the killing blow. That is all. I have heard of no such thing. If it exists, it is a shadow that the Great Serpent casts to deceive the faithless. Then we are done. Leave me.
I've flown across most of the settled systems in all manners of spacecraft, and yet I still get sick.
People joke, say those marine zealots worship a snake.
Wow, you look completely different.
I feel underdressed.
Can you imagine how many credits flow through this place? Figuratively, of course.
Well, you're back. What did you learn? Was there something hidden in their stories, like we thought? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. What else did you learn? If there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, those do sound awfully like coordinates. Was there anything else? Yes. What he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his resting place, we'd need to know the name of the star system, wouldn't we? Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Something that could point to a planet in the system. But what's the name of the system? Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No systems named finite or add. That just leaves in and dum. Well, that's certainly how I feel. Yes, that's it. The second planet in Indum, at 4 and 120. That's where you'll find the Pilgrim's resting place. And from there, maybe you'll find the true meaning of unity. Before you go, you've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, you'll be carrying their philosophies with you on this journey. I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if you had to guess what it was, what interpretation would you give it? Ah, but what makes something like that holy? Gravity is also a force that brings things together. Should that be sanctified? Yes and no. We believe God is out there waiting for us in the universe, and that the grav jump will bring us closer. But is gravity itself an article of faith? What do you think? And so you think this word unity describes a similar miracle? The processes of the universe are all in accordance with some greater intent.
With all due respect, gravity is no miracle. There are solid scientific foundations for it to exist.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. This has been fun, I have to admit. Go, find your truth.
Time to move.
require my assistance. Captain, greetings. Am I currently in possession of an item you require?
Hope you've calibrated that thing.
Whoever lived at this homestead seemed to have settled in for the long haul. Maybe you can get that to point us to the nearest restaurant. Aha. You're carrying too many odds and ends. Time to let something go.
Can I help? I'd be happy to carry a few things for you.
I picked up something you might be interested in.
Hmm? Hey. Glad to haul whatever you need. Something you need? Dropping off a few choice items? Yes, have a look.
Hello. I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them? I think none of us were expecting what we have found. Well, perhaps Matteo. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation? No, I do not. But I find it hard to quantify. Many of the other members are polite, but distant. I worry that my background and my actions concern them. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death. Why should I be? It was necessary for survival. I would not be here otherwise. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite. No, but it seems to make things much, much easier. I envy that. I know this seems trivial. Perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense? And yet here we are, working together. And that has, I think, gone very well. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence. It would have been, to some. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me.
시 29분 50초. 여기까지. 방종 후 레이드는 외국인 스트리머.
Stupicide 2. Thanks for watching.
수고하셨습니다.
Bye and see my next stream.
물결표 사인 물결표 사인.
Thank you so much, my friends and viewers. End of my stream. And after I will raid Stupicide 2.
모두 봐요.
Bye and CYA soon.
시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 물결표 사인 바이.
Thanks for watching. Tilde bye.